No, for giving him the banned pile driver, saying that instead of them two fighting each other because Kevin Owens was originally mad at Randy Orton sided with Cody Rhodes, causing Kevin Owens to lose his cool to attack Randy Orton. He said, "Let bygones be bygones. Let's put this behind us and let's go for the tag team championships instead. Fight one another." Or Randy Orton, he saw that he seemed like he was not feeling it. He basically gave Kevin Owens a LA Knight.
Oh, no, no.
So Randy Orton was not going for that. He said, "I'm glad you dropped me on my head. In fact, I hear the voices in my head. They counsel me. They talk to me. And they talk to me saying that he don't accept Kevin Owens' half-hearted apology. He don't go for the BS. He'd rather have these two fight at WrestleMania 41. So yes, it is official. We are going to get Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania 41. So that match is on. These two are going to fight one another. And that was it. Good segment, good way opening the show. Let's go to the next part of the show. We got our first match of the night. We had a tag team match. We had ourselves here a tag team of the Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jimmy Uso and Damian Priest. So this match is going on. This was not my favorite match. Just let me let you guys know that, be honest. This is pretty much something for Italy, for the fans, whatever you want to call it. Long story short, this match, it was all, in my opinion, I thought it was all over the place a little bit at some point. But at the end of the day, Damian Priest and Jimmy Uso did defeat Drew McIntyre and Nakamura. Jimmy had some good dive-ins. Priest had the size advantage. He's the one that actually pinned Shinsuke Nakamura. But Drew had to attack Damian again, just like he did last week. Now, like I said, I am looking forward to this feud. I was not on board initially with Drew versus Damian because Damian Priest, he's not my cup of tea when it comes to a babyface character. He's more good as heel. But now it seems like Drew McIntyre has turned up the notch. When they played that vignette last week of why he kept coming after Damian always benefits on Drew getting screwed. He added more flair to the story. So I am looking forward to that. But other than that, though, that was the end of that match. Let's look on to the next part of the show, shall we? All right, we got the one-on-one. We got Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. Now, this was not announced initially. I did state it. If whoever won this match between Jacob and Braun, they will get a chance to challenge LA Knight for the United States Championship. So this match was, of course, both men were going at it, but that doggone Solo Sikoa, he cost Jacob the match. He cost him the match, and he also cost Jacob the opportunity to fight for the United States title, meaning Braun Strowman wins. And Jacob was not too happy about it. He was not pleased about that at all. He was not cool with that at all because that was really a big opportunity for him. Really big opportunity for him. But it seemed like that's not going to happen for Jacob Fatu. We know that we would like to see him compete for that championship and become United States champion ultimately, but he's not now because of what happened. So we know that did not sit well with Jacob Fatu at all. I know he's not a happy camper, and I don't blame him for that because he could have had it in the bag. He could have had it in the bag, but he didn't. And we Solo kept interfering, kept getting in the middle of this match, kept costing him everything. And the thing about it is with that, Solo, you better watch yourself, man. You better watch it because I'm telling you right now, let's say not happy about that. And he showed it. He showed it backstage. Now afterwards, after the match was over and Braun Strowman was announced the winner and the number one contender for the title, United States title that is, Jacob Fatu showed his frustration, gave Solo a warning. Hey, Oos, I had this match alone. I don't need nobody's help. Do not interfere in my matches again. So he's putting Solo on notice. And if I was solo, I would definitely take Jacob's advice. If you don't, you're going to get some of that work. I'll take a Fatu.
So whether you like it or not, you about to get that work, son. Go.
So we got to keep that in mind. But other than that, that was the end of that particular match. That was the end of that outcome. All right, next match on the card, we had Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven. This was this match actually showed a lot of advantage. Zelina Vega had a lot of offense, and this actually was surprisingly a solid match. I know Piper Niven is a very good wrestler, but Zelina Vega's been getting better. We so used to her in that valet role for many, many years. In the past couple of years, Zelina Vega has transitioned back to wrestling like she did in TNA. But I do like the size. It's very good, perfect size advantage. Zelina, small, Piper, of course, bigger, but definitely a good one. I will say that. Salute to you, Good Bread Wrestling. But I will say this was a good, solid match. Of course, we saw the interference of the cabinet of Chelsea and Alba Fire. But at the end of the day, Piper Knight was able to score the pinfall over Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega looked good in defeat, though. So this was a solid match. I like this match as well. Let's move on to the next match on the card. Next match on the card. This was Liv Morgan versus Jade Cargill. Now, Jade, this is her first match back, singles match. We so used to seeing a tag team action. This was another good solid match. Liv and Jade, despite them having backstage heat with each other behind the scenes, these two had a good match, good chemistry there. Very good chemistry. I like how these two work together and everything. So this was solid. I like that. I also like the fact that I said this before. Naomi was going to interfere in this match. She was going to come back, and she was going to also cause Jade Cargill the match. And I was exactly right about that. I knew that how it was going to go down, and she did just that. She hit Naomi with one of the tag team championship belts that currently held by Liv and Raquel, and she hit Naomi. She hit Liv. I mean, she hit Jade, and it caused Liv to hit Oblivion and get the pinfall victory. If you guys remember that match, it was a good match though. Very surprising good match.
Oh, Naomi with that, and now Oblivion is hit by Liv. Hooks
the leg, and that was it. Liv Morgan wins the match, and afterwards, Naomi will go and attack. She attacked Jade Cargill, get her licks on because it makes sense. Like I said, Jade Cargill been attacking Naomi twice since she been back. It was no way Naomi was gonna keep taking them hits and not get an upper hand on Jade at least once. Naomi had to get her upper hand, and this was the perfect match to do it. So this was good outcome. Let's move on to the next match of the card. All right, we got Street Profits. Los Garza versus Street Profits. Street Profits, they cut a promo before the match started. They were happy that talk about the long road that they went through, talking about how they deserved championships. The crowd was chanting, "You deserve it." We heard, they was very over, probably very over Italy. That's all you heard when they first did it. So Montez and Dawkins, they definitely was happy about that. But meanwhile, they had their match against the Los Garças, who've been looking good for the past several weeks. Very good match. I like the part where we thought the Los Garças had Montez. They flipped him over the rope. Montez flipped. He flipped back. If you guys remember, there was a good part. And he just had that look on his face like he was not one to be messed with. This was a good part of the show. I liked how he looked. Montez was not playing around. So this was a good part. So I will say that. Also, they just good chemistry. Los Garças and Street Profits work very well together. I do like both teams are very athletic, especially Montez Ford. But for Montez Ford, he had the big frog splash, and he got the pinfall for his team to retain. I don't think this was for the tag team championships. And it was a non-title bout. So a good pinfall for the team. And the tag team champions won in a non-title match. They beat Los Garzas. Now, however, we did see that we do see that Pretty Deadly is supposed to get a title shot next week. We'll talk more about that because we'll go over next week's matches as well. So that thing we will talk about. But other than that, though, good match and congratulations to Street Profits for winning the match. It looked good. It's the first time they wrestled as tag team champions. First time they were champions in the past 4 years, guys. 4 years. Let's move on to the next part of the show. We had this cringe segment here. Yep, I said a cringe segment. Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany basically got cooked by Charlotte. Charlotte said, "The Queen speaks first." Everything she said was right. Even though Charlotte's the heel, she told Tiffany, you're now on my level. Stop being compared to me. Everyone gets compared to me, and Tiffany tried to come back saying, "Well, I'm the champion." She said, "You want to be a cash in," and I gotta lie. I mean, this was a one-sided segment. Tiffany just got cooked by Charlotte the way, all the way. So basically, when Tiffany tried to speak and go against Charlotte, she pulled a Hogan on her.
No, brother, it doesn't work for me right now,
And that was it. Nothing much more to the segment. It was a one-sided argument. But we'll talk more about this later. But let's get on to the main segment of the show. Now, this was, of course, all three men, Roman, Punk, and Seth. All three of these men don't like each other. First, Roman came to the ring, aided by, Paul Heyman, the wise man. Roman said, whoever got a problem, we come to the ring. Seth came out. He said his piece. He said, Roman, we always come back to, it's always going to be that come down to you and me, going back to the Shield days. He also said that there's no Roman without Seth, and there's no Seth without Roman. And Punk come out. He told he told Seth and Roman, you two have never been able to defeat me without one helping the other, which was facts. And also, like what Seth said, he said, you should let me finish Punk in the first place. You ruined that when you cost me the match. And Seth said he get it. He understood where Roman was coming from. So he understood the whole thing. He understood the assignment at the end of the day. He understand where both men are coming from. He understand where Roman's coming from. But Seth wanted Roman to understand where he's coming from. So long story short, Punk took the mic and attacked Roman. And they all attacking each other. They all taking turns. Punk attacking Seth, Seth attacking Punk, Seth attacking Roman, Roman attacking Seth, and Roman attacking Punk. They all attacking each other. Roman had the advantage when he hit both Seth and CM Punk with steel steps, all of that. So that was crazy too. It was wild though. Definitely wild how that was going down. All men was definitely getting advantage of each other. So they all had the advantage. They all was going over. It was crazy though. Definitely wild though. But at the end of the day, they did attack each other. All men came against each other. And that was it. That was it. That was the end of Smackdown. So that was all the segments going on for the show. And this is everything that happened on SmackDown this week. So it was in Italy. Next couple shows will be overseas, so we'll be aired at a different time. So other than that, that was it. Well, other than that, you guys, that was the show. I don't know if you guys saw the show. I don't know if you liked it or not. Was you a big fan of it? Which I will get into in a second. I got to go over my review when it comes to SmackDown and what's the whole thing behind that. So let's get to our review. Now, like I said, we had a lot of stuff going on this week. We are prepared for WrestleMania, prepared for everything. But at the end of the day, we got to have a final say in that. So I would say, when it come down to it, my review for SmackDown for the week, me personally, it was okay show, 3.5 out of 5. Nothing crazy to talk about. It was I had a problem with some things on the show. The international shows, sometimes we can't hear things because excuse me, crowd over, going over everything, yelling, screaming, whatnot. But that's how I felt about the show. You guys tell me what you feel. Matter of fact, let's see what people are saying in the community about the show. All right, that's what people are saying. 82% gave it an A, 8% gave it a B, 5% gave it a C, and 5% gave it an F. Y'all can vote in the community to have a red carpet reign. What do you think of this past episode of Friday Night SmackDown? But let's go on to what went wrong with the show and what went right. We'll go over those right now. So we'll see what happened. I'll speak on that. All right. What was wrong with SmackDown? What are my issues with the show? All right. First thing we'll talk about, at least my opinion, I would say with this match here, the first match of the show, I would say this particular tag team match, not the Street Profits match, but the first tag team match of the show, I thought was all right. It was not all that. I was not a fan of this particular match. It's pretty much it's the same result. Drew attacks Damien from behind. Jimmy was did his thing, but it wasn't my cup of tea. So I had a problem with this match.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So this was not my favorite match. One of the most least favorite matches on the card. But let's go over another part of the show. What else I did not like about the SmackDown? The Tiffany and Charlotte Flair segment was trash. I think Tiffany needs to up her promo skills. And I will say this too, and I said this to Gilbert Wrestling. We talked about it. I believe that everybody was so thirsty for the Tiffany versus Charlotte dream match. It's going to finally happen at WrestleMania. I know we're going to get this match. But also at the same time, Tiffany just won this belt nearly 2 months ago in January. I think this is a premature feud. I don't think Tiffany is ready enough and seasoned enough to face someone with the likes of Charlotte Flair, who's a veteran, over 10 years, 14 times the most decorated women's champion off WWE. I think this feud should have came down years down the line, or at least a year. Let Tiffany have the title for a while, or let her have some good feuds under her belt before she faces Charlotte. And this is why this is a bland feud, and this is not a match I want to see. Not right now. It should have been later down the line. So I'm not a fan of this whole feud at all. It's just missing a lot of elements, and it's due to the inexperience of Tiffany Stratton. No offense to her, she's not ready to face Charlotte yet. And with that, I'm not a fan of this at all.
No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So I'm not a fan of this at all. No, not one bit. I don't think she's ready for that. Tiffany is not ready to face someone like Charlotte right now. So that's another thing I didn't like on SmackDown. Another thing, this segment, the closing segment, I get that the men want to fight. They got their frustrations with one another. It seemed like they had to do this for time constraints, get it over with. CM Punk talked for 2 seconds after Punk came to ring. This is after Roman and Seth had to say that me start fighting. It just got a little rushed. The security breaking up everything. Maybe it's just me, but it seemed a little rushed, and I was not a fan of that. And some people are saying that they don't even like the segment. So, not my cup of tea on this one either.
No. Words? No. You just made the list.
So, I did not like this either. But, however, some good things going on. We're going to go to what went right with SmackDown. So, a lot of things did go right on this particular episode. One thing I will say I did like about this particular what went right with SmackDown, Naomi as a heel, she's looking good. She's looking good. Looking good as a heel. And I like that about Naomi. Now, of course, I was not born initially with her as a heel, but she looked good with her caution tape on. She looked good. Kind of remind me of Owen Hart, late '90s before he passed away. When he was with the Nation Domination, it's perfect fits her character. She is really into it, so I can't wait to see what's going to happen between her and Jade Cargill. So with that, I am definitely on board with this.
Yeet.
So that's one thing I did like. Another thing I did like on this episode of SmackDown was, like I said, a Street Profits match. These boys look good. They look great. I like that spot that Montez Ford did. He definitely looked, he's athletic. It seemed like Montez is getting more athletic and in better shape. When he had that interview months ago with how he was frustrated, he say up his reps and he got more in the gym more. I could tell it's working, and I hope they keep these belts on the Profits for a good minute, because I'm definitely a fan of the Profits.
Yeet.
So this is a good thing I did like about this show as well. Other than that, though, a lot of good things going on SmackDown. But we gonna go over some current news right now. So give me 1 second, guys, and we gonna go over the current news, and then we'll get on to the bonus round. So let's get that going.